Hi everyone, it's Evelyn from Twin Flames 3344. I am dressed in Marilyn today. I have a message from Marilyn Monroe came through today. Very interesting. And a lot of messages, a lot of really amazing messages today. So I'm going to get right to it. I have some sand art messages from last night as well. Today is August 18th, 2018, so there's a lot of 8s today. And just really some really strong energies. So first, I'm going to go through the sand art real quick. Some of the messages just residual from yesterday. I got 3 kings yesterday, as well as I watched the movie To All the Boys I've Loved Before, so there may be some of your past coming back to review, and this actually related to my sand art as well. I was also getting initially in this sand art, but from other things too as well, the arm being extended, so giving a hand to others, but also I was being shown the, we get an IV put in because the IV is coming up for different messages. So however you take that message, it could be someone using, it could be someone who needs an IV, it could be someone just nourishment for your body, the IV love that you need. But the message from the sand art today had to do with the Divine Masculine. It's like he's lying on his elbow on his side on the beach or in a park or something like that, thinking about his life and seeing his family. I see children playing and he's seeing this, and then I see actually 2 little fishies, maybe in a fish tank, little goldfish, 2 little fishies playing. And then I see things growing, so he's reviewing his life, and then you see all of a sudden he's facing away, so I'm seeing a man on his back, but he's facing away from me, and then I see a feminine lying with the head in the same direction but facing toward me, so if you rolled over the other way. So now I see a feminine laying like that but facing toward me, but separate from the Divine Masculine. So it's like he's watching his kids with him, and then there's this feminine separate from him. So it could be thinking about his past relationships, but also could be thinking about his feminine. But I was getting that, and then it's like things are speeding up yet coming together, and then a divide. But then I see the children playing again. And it's like angels are coming. The angels are calming the Divine Feminine. Like she was up, and then she's lying down though to go to sleep because she's just tired. And the angels are touching her, calming her, like Mother Mary. And then I just see the Divine Masculine's up there the whole time, just faced away with his back turned. And then at the end, it's like everything goes away. Things are growing and growing and building. Whatever memories he was thinking of are now covered. And then I see, I did see some drones. But the whole time there's a light underneath the Divine Masculine as well, like and also like a portal light, and also maybe sharks around him trying to wake him up. And then as you get to, it was a long one. Like then after all of this, different kinds of connections are being made. Someone's keeping a portal open. It's like keeping your options open. But then at the end, I'm literally seeing, and I loved this part, was he leaves that place where he was hanging out, so he's gone now. Things are falling into place. Definitely see drones, possibly ET stuff. But then all of a sudden I see, and it's so cute too. It's like a cartoon character. He's like tossing and turning in his sleep. It's so cute. I'm going to show it to you because I liked it so much. Okay, so you see the person lying down there, you know, and then you have he changes positions. It's like this little guy right here lying on the mountain. Okay, and then you see it, next one, see how it changes? His position keeps changing. Now he's lying on his back and now on his side. Okay, and then he's lying on his back again, and then just totally covered the other way, lying the other way. So it's like the Divine Masculine then tossing and turning in his sleep, unable to get settled. But it brought some emotions up about, for me, thinking about the Divine Masculine missing his family unit. You know, when you marry, you think that you're going to be there forever with your family and your children, and you can't imagine being with someone else, because I know I've been through this. Imagining that nobody else will love your children the way that you do. You won't be able to talk about your children like you always have with your spouse. So it made me really sad to think of the Divine Masculine being sad that, you know, he's going to miss his, you know, that bond that they had. So those feelings were coming up for sure. So that was being transferred, probably a message from the Divine Masculine directly. So this morning, being that it's August 18, 2018, Saturday, the energy is the 18 of the moon, so it's very emotional under the moon. Also things coming to light and deceptions, secrets, things like that. The energy of today adds up to a 37, which is the King of Cups. So that's unconditional love. So there's very deep, it's like bringing the Divine Masculine into his emotions. You know, learning to be unconditional love and tap into that moon energy that the Divine Feminine has always been very familiar with. And it's been beautiful around. The sun's been out, at least for the past couple days. It's out again today. Very positive energy. And again, I was being guided that things that you haven't been able to let go of during your journey, you might be able to let go of now. And it includes medications, alcohol, drugs, anything that you've continued, that you feel guided to not continue anymore. So it's all up to your own guidance, so just follow your own intuition on that. And of course, if you need to, consult with a doctor first. Something I just came across today was oranges for macular degeneration, so for your eyes. I just happened across that in my email, so that might be a message for someone. Yeah, so here we go. Today, the read was done at 10:22, and I finished arranging the cards at 23. I always write down both numbers, but it was 10:22. And the numbers that came up again, and I said this yesterday for the Divine Feminine, it was 22 and 2, and today the numbers came up 2 and 222, so 3 2s. It's very much about the one-on-one relationship right now, the energy. Okay, so for the numbers. The cards that came up today were the Moon, which is perfect because today is the Moon energy. The Starseed, which is like the Fool in this deck, in the Syrian Starseed deck, and then the Wheel of Fortune, okay, which is the Great Wheel in this deck. But first, before I even started with this, I was seeing the calves and the shins and the ankles and the feet, and I was wondering why I'm being shown this. And then I was getting some information about diabetic amputations. So BKA is a below the knee amputation, and also sugar issues. So this is a specific message for someone, obviously, if someone's a diabetic, but also I was getting messages if you let it go, it's going to get worse, because then I got above the knee amputation. So for someone who's ignoring their issues, to not ignore them. And it also could be a message. There may be American Indians involved in this as well. It had to do with diabetes and sugar issues. Alright, so then spiritual partnership was definitely coming up as the main card in my codes. But I was getting like to the ith, which is like for me it's code for to the nth degree, to the sea of Sophia's heart. So it was literally, and then I co-create. So showing you IV love, and that's why also the IV was coming up. And this was separate from the IV message I got here in my codes. So it was literally referring me back to my song, because there's a line in my song that's into the sea of her heart. So it was showing me to be to the nth degree in the sea of your heart, of Sophia's heart. That's where you co-create from. It's your IV love. But also I was getting to create IV wisdom of the heart in this spiritual partnership. Also then, different lab tests were coming up for some people. I was getting someone needs their creatinine again, which came up yesterday, which has to do with kidney function, to the ith. So again, kidney function would have to do with diabetes. So someone needs their labs done. Creatinine came up, and then I was getting for people with heart issues to clear their heart, literally, but also figuratively. I was getting like to clear your heart and other medical issues before union, and kidney function. Hematocrit was coming up, so that would be with your hemoglobin. Also thyroid, hormones, and vitamins were coming up, and I specifically said this for Vivi, vitamins was coming up. But for everyone, vitamins are so important. So many people are deficient in vitamins these days. So very important. I had a vitamin D deficiency. If you work indoors all the time, you probably are deficient vitamin D. So you might want to have them checked, as well as other vitamins. My daughter was very deficient in potassium at one point, which is very scary because you can have a heart attack. So it's something very simple to have tested. So get a vitamin panel done. Hormones was coming up, thyroid, and also heart clearance. So someone might need IV meds for something. I wasn't getting anything to do with, I guess it doesn't matter because I can't think of it. If I think of it, it'll come up. But also tetanus was coming up, so someone might need a tetanus shot. Okay, so a reminder, creatinine, hematocrit was coming up, so that just has to do with regular blood tests, hemoglobin, hematocrit, creatinine, but that's with the BUN. And then thyroid, hormones, and vitamins I was being guided to have tested. So for whoever that resonates with, obviously do what resonates with you and nothing else. If it doesn't resonate with you, then ignore it, please. But again, tetanus was coming up as well, and just getting a heart clearance. So someone who's been avoiding some chest pains may want to get a check just to make sure it's not just ascension symptoms. Okay. I was getting lovers to the ith coming out at the full moon. Twin flames feeling defeated by the world, and specifically more for the divine masculine. I was getting this, that the divine masculine was feeling like they had two paths to choose from, two choices, but were feeling like they were damned if they do and damned if they don't, like a no-win situation. Could be a new-win situation too. Okay, like something could have just flipped for them. The Queen of Cups was being shown as looking. And by the way, the characters that came up in the main spread were the Knight of Swords and the Queen of Cups. That was it. 2 cups, 2 swords, 1 wand, 1 pentacle. So the Queen of Cups energy was coming out, being shown as out, being seen, looking into her heart. Tea leaves was coming up, okay, so using your psychic abilities, but also using your heart as major growth children sprouting up all of a sudden. So there could be some people noticing their kids grow, a lot, or a huge growing spurt all of a sudden. And then I was noticing white legs. Someone's noticing their white legs need some sun. Someone might have weird tans or something like that. And then someone is covered head to toe on the beach. So these are all different scenarios. They could all apply to you, or just one apply to you. It doesn't matter. But literally seeing someone just cover, why are you going to the beach if you're going to cover yourself up? But someone might have a skin issue where they have to cover up to be careful. But I was also getting a wetsuit, so someone's snorkeling or deep sea diving. And right when I wrote that, I felt a touch on my arm. So that might have to do with the IV. Okay. So there could just be some people out on the sea enjoying it. Some people deep sea diving and snorkeling, that kind of stuff, but also maybe some kind of drug affiliation with that. I got sailing the world and the globe for gold. So pirates were also coming up, so this could have to do with the IV drug stuff. But also the pirate sports team may be coming up about that. And then I got red and white and covered in black, which I'm not sure what it meant, so if it means something to someone, let me know. Red and white and covered in black. And then I got black and white and red all over. Okay, so let me know if that resonates with anyone as well. And that could just be someone getting burned on the beach. And then I got black and blue as well. And then passion for the sea, which was literal and the divine feminine, like passion for the Sophia energy, the divine feminine, okay? And then music notes were coming up. So passion for music, teaching and speaking around the world. So this was coming up for the twins, for both. And an extra set of legs. So it could be the divine masculine thinking that, maybe the divine feminine will be an extra set of legs for me to do things for me. Then I was getting, and it could be for the divine masculine, his kids as well. Seeing his kids as being an extra set of legs helping him today or whenever in this near future. So the divine masculine is feeling youthful and worldly and feeling maybe their abilities and foresight along with the divine feminine psychic abilities and warmth are unstoppable. Speaking and listening and actually hearing what he says. So he may be thinking that the divine feminine really hears him when he's talking, but also psychically is hearing what he's saying. And then the card is reconciliation, okay? So that's reunion. And then I was getting 2 nights. So 2 nights riding in, but also 2 nights. So today's the 18th, so that would go to the 20th. 1 up and 1 down. So 1 working with energy and then the next night maybe feeling jealous. So kind of a back and forth energy. And then also I was getting an offer to coach kids or work for a team, but the divine masculine having walked away from that. It could be a divine feminine as well. But I was also getting 2 kids competing for money or an offer, and somebody walks away. And older kids, not young kids. I also got 1 good job offer, but jealousy issues, or you're not trusting that person, so you walked away. There was too much competition involved, and you're not doing that anymore. So someone who's already awakened a bit and understanding that that's not something they want to do, that's 3D. Then death and transition was coming up. And I was literally seeing someone trying to do shokarays, but they were broken. They can't seem to complete the circles while people are watching them. So maybe feeling conscientious when they're doing shokarays, if they're doing Reiki. Or also memories of an old lover was coming up. So, and that syncs with my sand art as well. So some of the divine masculines may be thinking of an old lover, but it could be the divine feminine as well. Also specifically coming up in reference to this was in the woods or on the beach. So someone who had maybe made love in the woods or on the beach is thinking of that past memory. Maybe someone passed of alcohol poisoning, and I was literally getting the drink, sex on the beach. Someone had 2 lovers and one of them killed themselves. One divine masculine has a blonde and a brunette and wants a redhead to complete the package. But I was getting like the redhead is just looking away like, you got to be kidding me. And feeling like it was a nightmare. Some divine masculines have 2 women, so maybe but when they met their twin already, they were married or something and then were cheating with someone for a long time. but they're twin in their head. So that's 3 people as well. And then another might just be in love with their 2 kids alone, okay, with the divine feminine on their mind, which has been a nightmare. Or just constantly, oh, I was getting this too, some of the divine masculines may be constantly dreaming of their divine feminine with kids around. So if they're alone with their kids and the kids get in bed with them, so it might be very awkward for the divine masculine because he's out of control in this situation. So he may be dreaming about his divine feminine, which is very awkward when you're in bed with your children. Okay, so some divine masculines may think the divine feminine put a spell on them, which actually could be their karmics, okay, putting spells on them. But it's not, I can tell you, the divine feminines are not putting spells on you. If they could, they would have brought you in a long time ago. So, but it's possible that there could be karmics putting spells on their divine masculine to keep them with them and to put blocks in the way of the divine feminine, because most of the karmics are feeling the divine feminine, may have known it from this get-go. And I can vouch for that a long time ago, where I didn't even know what a twin flame was, the karmic actually pulled, the only time I saw them really, pulled their child close to them, like I was like a scary witch or something like that. And that's the only time I ever even saw her. And that's the way she reacted to me. So for those divine masculines who think your karmic never knew anything, they've probably known all along and weren't telling you. Okay, and then the completion card came up. So there's definitely completions coming through. There's totally union energy again today, and it's not for everyone. So for those who it's not regarding, because you're still going through, you're just awakening now, don't feel bad. It's the process. Everyone goes in their own time. You can't do anything wrong. It's supposed to go naturally with the seasons. As the solstices go by, there's different lessons you learn. It's okay. Don't get down or jealous. Don't compare yourself to anyone else who's coming into union, okay? It's very important. If you need to purge, purge. But also come back to joy as quickly as you can. And don't get down on yourself for not being where everyone else is if you're just awakening now. All right? These people have already been through what you've been through, and it's just a process. You're supposed to start focusing on yourself and healing yourself and do things for yourself. So this is also when the above the knee amputation came up. So it was showing me that if whoever this person is who's ignoring their diabetic issues, and it doesn't have to be diabetes, but I was getting a below the knee amputation, and then it's like later on in the reading, if you keep waiting, you're going to have an above the knee amputation. So that's for someone very specific. And it's coming through from someone who passed with diabetic issues. So now I also was seeing a divine masculine at an altar, or has arrived at their goal, or literally standing between goal posts with flowers or birds. Could be circling around their head. And I literally told you that last week, that when I was out jogging, I'd seen that, I'd noticed that in the cards, the circling around the head. And then when I was out jogging, there was literally birds. I passed a point where they were circling over my head. So the divine masculine could be preparing for a wedding or for another event. It could be a divine feminine as well. But I was also getting feet. And then that all about the base, that came up again. So the feet, it's not only about the root chakra, it's about the feet. Because you realize all of those connections of your entire body are in the feet, right? So to take care of your feet, it might be guiding you to get a massage, to walk on your tippy toes and your heels, okay, to wake up some more of the muscles in your feet, or even the chakras in your feet. But it's all about the base, so reminding you about the root chakra being very important entry point, and then the feet, to take care of your feet. I was seeing feet and toes propelling the wheel. So I was being shown feet being used to start the wheel turning again. Okay, so someone might be going on a paddle boat, I'm just noticing. But also it was showing me how the retrogrades, like I told you, there's a propulsion from the retrogrades pushing you forward. So today Mercury goes direct, and I keep itching, so I don't know if someone's, there's some lying or fibbing I'm getting more of. And it's all coming from the left, so someone might be lying to themselves as well. But I was literally getting these retrogrades propelling you forward. So we have today's Mercury going direct, so it's stations today, and then Mars direct is stationed on the 27th, I believe. And the new moon is on the 26th, or the full moon is on the 26th. But I'm seeing all of these. And then September 6th, when Saturn goes direct, or stations to go direct, is really important because 9-6 came up several times, which I'm going to go into now. And also the day adds up to 26, which is the Page of Wands, and the Page of Wands keeps coming up as well. So, and the Page of Wands is all about an excitable boy, ready, you know, like a date, that kind of thing. It's a message of a date, or excitement, or just feeling like a teenager again. So it's very positive energy, but I was literally being shown that the feet are propelling the wheel forward through these retrogrades, like a paddle boat. I was getting after the feet and toes propelling the wheel, and then I just got Fred Flintstone, and actually Flintstone, I saw it yesterday. I saw no, Firestone. So Firestone. So Flintstone was bringing up Firestone, but Flintstone might be coming up for a reason as well. Maybe a Firestone and Flintstone. They all both have to do with fire. So something about that. So if that resonates with anyone, let me know. Saturn retrograde goes direct, like I said, on September 6, 2018, and the day adds up to 26, which is the Page of Wands. And the Page of Wands came up for, has been coming up all week, but it comes up again, the number 26. The full moon's on the 26th. That was it. But there's some other stuff that comes up. So then I was getting skewers on the Barbie. So that might be something specific for someone in Australia. But I was getting Aussie with that. I was hearing skewers on the Barbie, you know, that type of thing. Someone might be on a boat, actually, barbecuing as well. But I was also getting peacocks and strutting their stuff. Some all heart. So I wrote so drink, but I don't think that's what I meant to write. Oh, okay. So some people who are all heart, so they end up being alcoholics because they let people walk all over them. I was seeing blue eyes and jaundice. So there might be some people who really do need to get their labs tested because they're jaundiced. They need to get their liver functions done. Also could just be yellow from crying a lot. Praying for forgiveness, not realizing he just needs to forgive himself, and the 2 cups will appear like magic. Okay, so it's the Divine Masculine, like praying, but not realizing that he's already been forgiven, that he just needs to forgive himself and turn around and see the 2 cups waiting for him. Someone may be getting married in emerald green, and another with a short dress and green tights, or maybe Peter Pan and the Empress, or a peacock. Okay, so these are all things I was getting up as far as regarding weddings, but it could have to do with something else as well. Let me know. Some Divine Masculines may be worried about their size, okay? And this is a confirmation for the Divine Masculines from the Divine Feminines. There's no worries. The Divine Feminine loves all of you. Just have to love yourself. And recently, a huge download at work for the Divine Masculines and Feminines. The worst is over. The wheel is propelling forward. Mercury direct and Mars direct, August 27th. It's like the moon falls from the sky. And that was just a download. It's like the moon falls from the sky. The soulmate message of love for union. For some, a child comes home. So that could also be the soulmate love coming together right now. So some, it could be union, but some could be a child coming home. Centrally, the twin flames, their new life is the central issue today. I was getting triumph and truth and patience and angelic assistance and happy family. The twins will be challenged by the 3D 7 cups, so all the illusionary things they filled their life with before is being let go. The Divine Masculine specifically walking away from friends and family and things they used to love to do to occupy their time with love and friends, but also pissing away money, I literally got, and not in their power when competing or fighting, or taking their power back in order to offer love to those who are more awakened now and enlightened, to the 7 cups of the 5th dimension. So they're trading in their 3rd dimensional 7 cups. Literally, I was seeing this. I was seeing the Divine Masculine walking from the 3D 7 cups and leaving to go to the 7D. I mean the 5D 7 cups. For some it might be 7D. So now I was getting, for the Divine Feminine and Masculine, there could be some brain wars, so still some anxiety in the head, juggling thoughts of fire and ice, or bubbles and passionate movement to calm the beast, to get over it. And also Leo is coming up. So it was coming up as to get over Leo. And maybe someone had passion for Leo that they need to get over. In order to get this huge love through the 3rd eye and the moon cycles, which has to do with the 5D love, and the Queen of Swords, Queen of Pentacles person is coming up as one person who has all of these qualities of truth and groundedness, okay, and well-roundedness, and doing their own thing, very good with family and home and kids, but also intellectual, or just all about the truth, very articulate. I was getting some Divine Masculines also praying that the Divine Feminine forgives him. I was getting the Divine Feminine fantasizing at home in meditation and putting away photos of the past, cutting cords, especially with those who wouldn't give you the time of day or had ignored you before. So these could be different cycles of twin flames. So twin flames who have done this before, it's obviously not you if you're coming into union. It may be twins who are just starting out and now need to put old energies away. And walk away from their Divine Masculine who's been ignoring them. Okay, so soon there's an announcement specifically to the Divine Masculine and children. There's a wake-up call of destiny for the wounded warrior, and Reveille was coming up. This is a major wake-up call for the wounded warrior, the Divine Masculine, Reveille. And what I saw when I looked it up was the major triad, so using only major notes in the chord, the C, E, G, okay, which is positive energy, right? It's to inspire as opposed to sedate a little bit, because the minor chords are thought to, calm you down. So the majors inspire you, okay? So the Divine Masculine's being woken up. He's getting this huge wake-up call to his destiny, and I literally got first call. Revel and revelry is like a huge, festival, celebration like Mardi Gras. Then I see literally this heading comparing Mardi Gras to Brooklyn's festival, saying, there's nothing like Brooklyn's, and it was by Peter Noel, or Noel, however he pronounces it, from the Village Voice. It was September 6th, 1994. So here we have September 6th again. And that date, by the way, adds up to 38, which is the Queen of Cups. So I was getting the flower of life in the pineal gland, finding satisfaction and letting go of the 3D illusions and negative females, so for the Divine Masculine this is, but also for the Divine Feminine, negative self-talk. So letting go of negative self-talk, the Divine Masculine letting go of negative females, who may be negative just the way they speak, or in giving them silent treatment and manipulating them. Also, it took me back to something about castor oil. So that might be important to bring up for someone, for maybe a 3-year-old who's having problems going to the bathroom, they're constipated all the time, castor oil. So that might be coming up for someone. Also, the Divine Feminine is now giving it up to God. She's surrendered into love. Crystals, crystal ball, it doesn't matter. They know to use their intuition to connect to their higher self, to go by their own guidance only, their pineal connection, and to disconnect from details. The devil's in the details. The assembly line life. Okay, so we're going away from the 3D assembly line type of life to shine light and live your dreams. With an emperor Or for some, you need to disconnect from your workplace, and literally Aquarius or Aries was coming up. So someone needs to disconnect from an Aquarius or Aries from their workplace. And obviously for people who've been on the journey for a while, this may not regard you. But also, someone may need to disconnect from a father, a company, or their fame. These were also coming up. To love yourself first, codependency issues were coming up. So for those who need to disconnect from a relationship they're codependent on, it could be something they're codependent, anything that has to do with fear, are codependencies. So it could be drugs, it could be relationships, whatever your codependency is, but to love yourself first, and romantic feelings were coming up. So around the Divine Feminine is coming up 5D communication. Finally, after lack, heartbreak, and the aftermath of it all, of all of the nightmare, there's finally communication. Clear, for the Divine Feminine to clear their blocks about alcoholism, over-emotionalism, codependency, and immature communication and messages. To let go of the blocks about this. Don't prejudge, don't look for the way things are supposed to work out. Just allow everything to come forward and get past your blocks about these things. And then that's when the spiritual partnership card came up. Spiritual partnership. It's all about patience. And then this is when Marilyn came in. Goodbye Norma Jean came up. Candle in the Wind. And Spirit's connecting with me. So grace, your grace is coming up, is very important right now. Grace Kelly came up. And then my mother, who's Mary Grace. So it's all about remembering the grace of it. Okay? Think of Marilyn Monroe and her grace in dealing with everything that she had to deal with. Grace Kelly and everything she had to deal with. And then my mother. So the Divine Masculine remembering, the Divine Feminine feeling and reunion. I was getting the Page of Wands, September 6th, 2018 union. So for some, this will be a union day. The Emperor's heartstrings are magnified as lights shine down from the heavens. And the Goodbye Norma Jean was coming up at 12:12. And then Marilyn Monroe came through. I was guided to look up more information, and it came up Marilyn Monroe, May 9th, 2006, which is again September 6th, okay, coming up. And also May 9th, 2006 was just the entry on this, but it also adds up to 22, which I told you today was 2, 2, 2, 2, and yesterday was 2 and 22. So 2s are coming up major. And this read was also at 10:22. So very important. That's full, new beginnings, like a leap of faith, and Candle in the Wind. And then the count on the video that came up for Candle in the Wind was 1335345. So of course there's a lot of 3s here. 545. 1335345. So you see the sequence of that too, 3, 4, 5, and 5 about the change. But 53 has to do, is like a catapult. It's like a sudden change, and then 45 is the 5 of Cups. You know, where the Divine Masculine just needs to forgive himself, turn around, and see the 2 cups right in front of him. And then 757 also came up on that video. Okay, 757. And then the likes and the length of the video were a reflection of each other. 3.4 and then 403 long. And that's the 8 of Wands and the 3 of Cups, which I see as the union coming together. So the 4 of Wands is union, but the coming together of union is the 3 of Cups, you know, the twins in the third energy. And then 82 dislikes, which is reverse of 28, which is the twin flames. And also I was just guided to write down the address of where she was found when she died. Was 12305 5th Helena Drive. She was born June 1st, 1926. All right, so you have the 26 again. And then she died on August 5th, 1962. So 62, she died is reverse, 26. So Marilyn was coming through to confirm to you this 26 like a boy like a teenager in love, wanting to ask someone out on a date. And it just happened that the entry where it said her birth and death dates also showed her height, which was 5'5". It says bringing up 55 because that's the truth. That's the Ace of Swords. That she died of an overdose. But she wants the truth to come up. Her truth. And she's bringing up the 26 and the 26. And she was saying that, and she's still connecting with me, messenger of truth of the past, not seeing the offer from God. And she asked me to bring up Joe DiMaggio's name. The wounded warrior in union like a child. That he was like a teenage child, but she's showing that soulmate or twin flame type relationship. The Emperor breaks contract with family deception and a cover-up. So she's also relating some of the divine masculines. There was a deception going on, a major family deception, like a huge cover-up, like what she went through. And Marilyn's helping to bring this to light. This was the message from her. The King of Pentacles confesses and drops his burdens. This is like after the card after the read, which is also in this deck, the crystal skulls, where all the Akashic records, all the information from Atlantis, everything is in the divine masculine. And Thoth, because Thoth just came up. He's the recorder of everything. So, yeah, Marilyn came through very strongly today, which was kind of interesting because she died right after I was born. The following year. The Lovers, and actually, when I had done Rolfing in my 20s, when I was experimenting with meditation, that kind of stuff, and I just remember one day I saw a vision. I saw a panning of Marilyn Monroe at the podium with all the soldiers, the wounded soldiers. So there was a connection between myself and Marilyn. So for me, it was very profound that she was coming through today. And also I was connected to her for other reasons as well. I always, Madonna connected to Marilyn for me, but it wasn't Madonna I was connected to, it was Marilyn. The Lovers, full moon for soulmates, letting go to the 5D truth and downloads. Bombshell. Okay, so there's literally a bombshell. The downloads coming, but also bombshell is Marilyn. Of twins, finding spiritual selves in their destiny. The Queen of Cups, anxiety is healed by the light, getting her wish of the King of Pentacles and the crystal skulls, which are all of the Akashic records. So it was really intense, beautiful message. So I just want to re-emphasize the propelling of the retrogrades going forward. Today is Mercury going direct, and it's usually most powerful when it goes direct and when it goes retrograde. So today you may be having some computer and communication issues. But it's propelling forward now. Mars on the 27th, and then Saturn on September 6th, and then Pluto finally, which is going to bring in the major groups after that, is September 30th. And then there's something going on because of the Venus retrograde in October. But like I said before, I had gotten that the dates between October 14th and 18th were very important, just prior to this Venus retrograde, where everything's going direct. So just be aware, and I'm going to pull some cards for you to see how that goes. And just the 26th, the Page of Wands energy was coming up big time, so there would definitely be some the divine masculines reaching out to their divine feminines. And as the planets start going forward, it's like showing this wheel, the feet under a wheel, like literally pushing the wheel to go forward and forward and forward. It's going to go faster and faster and faster. Okay. So for the Ascension deck, it's 4404. Okay, so the Ascension deck is for the Organic Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine Twin Flames. What is the advice for the Organic Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine Twin Flames? Today is August 18, 2018. And we have Lord Kumika, which is 42, which is the Two of Cups. Okay. The bottom of the deck is 37, which is the King of Cups, which on this card is Paul the Venetian. Paul the Venetian says, I express myself creatively and harmoniously. So it's bringing up your creative pursuits and music, okay? how important those vibrations and energies are. And 37, like I said, is the one. It's the King of Cups of unconditional love. 7 on the inside of spirituality and that joyful, smiling, expressive self on the outside, just connecting with everyone. Lord Kumika, the 42, is that 6 of the 2 of Cups. It's of love, family, and community. It's the 2 of the feminine energy, and then being more dependable and responsible looking on the outside. So maybe that's what draws the divine masculine. It says, Kumika came from another universe to set the condition for the golden age, and there may be something about the olden age. There may be an old age home coming up because of this. Kumika came from another universe to set the conditions for the golden age of Atlantis with Archangel Metatron. So here Metatron's coming up again, governing over the divine masculines. He has returned to the Kohan of the 8th ray, a soul ray of purification, enlightenment, and communication. When you receive this card, you're on a quest for enlightenment. Your guidance is to breathe Kumika's blue topaz light into your aura, which is very throat chakra. Expand your attitude to one of unconditional love, acceptance of others, and personal responsibility. Kumika will open new doors for you and guide your footsteps, and I was getting a lot of feet today, towards enlightenment and ascension. The affirmation is, I call on Lord Kumika to enlighten and support me. Okay, so blue topaz light, your throat chakra. Speak clearly. And white with the purification, we brought that up yesterday with the golden white purification light, to use all these lights to help yourself communicate better and to enlighten yourself, to expand your aura and your attitude and your acceptance and your unconditional love. Okay, take those footsteps towards enlightenment and ascension. Okay, so for the past life deck, okay, for the organic, divine masculine, and divine feminine twin flames, what is the advice? What is the advice? For the organic, divine masculine, divine feminine twin flames. Okay, we have the bottom is transportation, so somebody might be taking a trip. It could be specifically by train. There could be something from a past life that needs to come up for you. Crossing a bridge, because this train's coming across a bridge. It's possible in a past life that a bridge fell when you were on a train. I'm also getting Thomas the Tank Engine for some of you out there and your kids. Thomas the Tank Engine. The 2 cards that came out were wisdom and vows. Okay. Okay. So it's all about the vows specific to the divine feminine and the unicorns. So it's all about purity and the divine feminine not feeling pure. Spirit's connecting with me. But to know your truth of purity. And purity has nothing to do with taking vows of chastity, and to let go and cut those cords. You are not tainted no matter what. I'm being guided to say that. See the difference in the coloring? Showing how the girls feel like they're dirty. They're being shown the wisdom of their purity. Okay, and this is very important for not only divine feminines, but also teenagers and children, female children, and male children as well. But this is a message specifically for the feminines. To not see yourself as dirty or alone. That you can connect with unicorns, that they're beautiful, pure and white and wise, but to know your own wisdom as well. I didn't notice this before. In the vows card, look, there's a tiny little flame. There's only one vow that you need to keep. I never saw that before. That's so beautiful. Okay, and that's to the other half of you that came into this, into your very first incarnation. All right, so for the journey of love, journey of love, journey of love. What is the advice for the organic, divine masculine, divine feminine twin flames? What is the advice? What is the advice? What is the advice? The bottom of the deck is 27, which is the Ace of Wands, which is passion, new passion. The ethereal touch is the underlying energy. That's beautiful. That's a 9 of universal love, selflessness, compassion endings. The ethereal touch, the 5D touch. The Ivy love. So Ivy might come up too. And this card is Ivy, the swan. It's not quite, it's very white. But it's more of an ivy. It's not pure white. The swan. So the swan came up. This is number 67. It's very pure. And you see how the purity is coming up with the unicorn and this card. Because most of these cards aren't pure white. They have a lot of colors in them. And it looks like a bird. It doesn't even look like a swan. It looks like just a bird who's kind of sad on a branch by himself. And the 67 is the Knight of Pentacles. Somebody who's very hard-working and sure-footed, and they may not be the most sparkly person. You know, they may not be the prettiest or the most exciting, but they're the ones who are always there. It's the goat climbing the hill, basically, the mountain. The swan. Saying that this person that was never noticed before is now becoming the swan. And the other one is number 5, so of change, expansion, sex, romance, freedom, the communal dance. And although it magnifies the two holding hands, it's also showing you the never-ending chain of holding hands, okay? It's about holding hands with everyone. That the focus is on the two, but it's also on the all, the one, the communal dance. I'm going to read you those. So I'm going to read you the 5 first. Number 5 is the communal dance. Alright, so, lover, you've been alone too long. Your community calls you to surrender your isolation for this moment in time and instead join the cosmic conga line. Do you know how special you are? So much so that this community would not be the same without you. Your individuality and uniqueness can only enhance this group of souls that calls you to dance with them. Men and women, human and spirit, heaven and earth, your community is vast and rich and has much to share with you. Be lifted in celebration of belonging. Recognize that you are part of something great. Can your heart grow warm with recognition? You belong. You are meant to be a part of this great dance of love awakening on the earth. Your heart is already beating to the rhythm of the music. This oracle brings you guidance. You're being drawn into a new community that is more aligned with your innate spiritual vibration. You'll feel more at home there and be able to share your gifts and talents more freely and with greater support. So let go of relationships and situations that you've been holding on to out of fear. They are meant to continue with you. If they are meant to continue with you, they will remain, and if not, they will fall away, creating space for new connections to come into your life now. This is not a time to hide in what you have known, but to be open to playful connection with kindred spirits, soon to be met. And the poem simply reads, when I stood in front of you, I knew something was in store. I could feel the excitement of our journey ahead, for I had been that way before. Each person comes into our life with lessons we may see, and in the reflection of that other self is the person we can be. So this is also a call to new twins awakening and being shown the way by the twins who have already gone through the process, okay? And to feel welcome to this community that you may be aligning with. So it's about the world in general, but it's also about the twins who are awakening now and just entering into the twin flame community. Okay, and then the other one is 67. But allow yourself to go out into the world. Just because one group that you left behind in this journey wasn't resonating with you anymore doesn't mean there's not another group out there that you will resonate with, and it doesn't have to just be the twin flame community. So, 67 is the swan. Gliding with grace. All right, so here we bring up the grace again. Nothing is withheld from this beautiful soul. It can discern what is genuine, authentic, loving, and what is from ego parading. Where we had the peacock coming up earlier as well. So even through the most impressive words or gestures, the soul can sense the holding within of a core of fearful separation from the divine. With grace, it allows all to be and moves amongst this world with inspiring light and grace. Paramahamsa, great swan, the soul that moves the souls of others, is reaching to you now, the guru, the teacher, the light, the love that is all. You are blessed by sacred divine relationship with the essence of love itself, that adores you and wants only for you to be free. This oracle reaches to you now, indicating that you're held within the grace of a great soul, a teacher of the heart, of the spirit, and there's endless light bestowed upon you for protection. Your path ahead is assured. Soon you'll be shifting from hope to a sense of inevitability in your attainment of the spiritual goals closest to your heart. Be with your practice of love. Through meditation, yoga, kindness, nature, dance, and singing. Whatever speaks to your heart, and know that you are one with the divine, it is only a matter of time before you realize it. And the poem reads, to love from afar, all we share are dreams of what will unfold. Okay? Oh, it's all about your grace and learning your grace, learning to stay present at 0 point, to not allow the periphery to affect you, to always be in your grace. And so again, Marilyn Monroe came up and Grace Kelly to be very good examples of that. Okay, as well as my mother. Maybe it's because she went through a lot, but she was also so well liked in the community. You know, she was always volunteering in the community. She ran for school board and League of Women Voters, and she was involved with AFS and all of the arts, the art center, and so many beautiful things that she supported. We had AFS students stay at our house with us growing up, and she just always felt it was very important to be a part of your community and to help others. So to Grace, and to my great aunt Grace, and to cousin Grace, to Grace in general. Okay, so that was a beautiful message. Remember to drink your water, remember to rest, take good care of yourself. No worries, there's lots of positive